Yeah, man. You know, and very like most important to understand that this is what has made America functional ignoramuses. You know, receiving degrees and it's almost as if I can guarantee you that there are more people with degrees out of jobs, you know, than people without degrees, without jobs, you know, and actively searching for a job. You feel it? Now, the craziest thing about this is, you know, so many people after going to school it's almost like most people just go to college for the experience, you know, rather than education. Because truly, you don't have to go to college to get an education. You know, you really don't. You know, you really want an education, you can learn anywhere. You know, you can always learn, as opposed to having to pay so much money for it. But it's more of the experience, the college experience, that students are going for. Because education, like as I just said, that's something that you can do on your own, 34/9. 24/7. Fuck that 34/9. You know, all day and lap a day. You know, and because of effective classism in education, in the implemented separatism, we've been effectively kept from progression. And see, one of the another inbred backwardnesses in our education system was that they taught us so much advanced shit early. And I remember keenly, just being at Birdell Elementary, we learned so many advanced things. We would learn protons, electrons, six protons, six neutrons. We was learning alkali values. We was learning the Dred Scott decision. We were learning a lot of advanced things in elementary school. And as we went to middle school and high school, the curriculum got more mundane and more watered down. And more repetitive. And it's almost like hell. It's damn near like I took Algebra 2 from middle school all the way up to 12th grade. You know what I'm saying? And we learned so many more advanced things while we were young. And this is an instant backwardness because the devil would teach you. It makes sense that the devil would teach you the advanced shit early, just so in your mind it's elementary. It's not really as important or as advanced as the shit that you learned later on as you got older. You would think. So this just makes sense that this is a background, and this is something that the devil would do so that ultimately the quality wouldn't even be considered. The quality would never be considered. You understand? And right now, the country is spending more money. Right now, the country is spending more money on prisons than it is on school. And just the simple fact that those two are even close is a disgrace. Just the simple fucking fact that those two are even close. The two spending fucking amounts are even close, anywhere near each other, is a disgrace. You understand? Total disgrace. You know, and it's almost to the point where it seems that the more degrees we achieve, the more ignorant and arrogant and egotistical you see people get. And the more they don't listen and they ain't hearing it. And they are the end all be all of that field. They know more than anybody. So what exactly is happening to society through this education system? And it's not just black people, but all of us, through these word games, and along with the Bible, and see, along with the American history books saying things like, oh yeah, black people, black people are 3/5 of a person, black people 3/5 of a person, all this 3/5 shit, and then and you couple that with the Bible, that got so much slavery shit in it, so many times it's saying slaves masters, slaves masters, slaves masters. Goddamn, the shit just goes right together. It just makes sense. It all just makes sense, and it all leaks itself into every individual's lives, into all of our lives. You understand? And now it's come to a point where we we that's why I say we have to go back and comb through slavery, have to go back and thoroughly comb through history. And we have to understand that in slavery, in the time of slavery, that, you know, in popular opinion, we all say, we all feel like black people got fucked up. And that's true enough. True enough. Our ancestors took the deepest sacrifice, and were, it's just unspeakable, unspeakable. But in that same right, honestly, white people were fucked up too. White people got fucked up too, very fucked up, because the good that was in them, any good that was in them, suffered and died. White people suffered psychologically and spiritually, probably more than black people. And all based on fear. And during this time, there were white people who were helping on the Underground Railroad. It was all kind of shit. There were all kind of people that knew that was some bullshit. But the white man suffered, his good side being killed, his whole God nature being really committing suicide. His God nature was really committing suicide. In the whole act of enslaving, the African people in America, and in the genocide of the Indians. You understand? White people took a great loss as well. Spiritually, if they had any spirit, if they had any chance to have spirit, and thoroughly understanding how both of us have been lied to and hurt and conspired against and used as pawns against one another, and not knowing and understanding true history, and ultimately this making and boring the saying that perception is stronger than fact, because now what so many people feel is their life, what so many people think is their original thought and their original knowledge on life is actually just their perception, no fact. No fact. And through all of this, by way of the word games in the Bible, the English language and education system, we've all been made into robots and zombies. We've all been forced, we've all been made these clone automatons, so to speak, under this extreme advanced mind control, and no matter who we are, and that's why they're bringing out all these, The Walking Dead, and all these zombies and iRobot movies. You know what I'm saying? Because through all of this false sense of socialization and all this social engineering, everybody has been made into a clone and into a robot, into this automaton, as I was saying. And see, how can I say this? And this is ultimately how, this is why America is in need of an exorcism. And this is the exorcism. And I'm the exorcist. Through all of these, understanding brainwashing. So many people are offended You know, when people say that so and so is brainwashed. Look, I'm gonna tell you right now, most fucking white people, most black people on the fucking planet, most white and black people in America are brainwashed. Just the bottom goddamn line. Are brainwashed. You know, most people, fuck that. Most people in America are brainwashed. But understand what brainwashing is. See, everybody in America, if you sat in the if you sat in the education class, if you sat in a public school class, you underwent some degree of brainwashing. You know, all of us have been brainwashed to some degree. You know, and see, understand that brainwashing isn't such a bad thing. Yeah, well, I ain't gonna say it's not such a bad. We'll say brainwashing is, like I say, it's something that we all have experienced. But ultimately, brainwashing is just an advanced form of re-education, an advanced form of education or re-education. You know, and you actually can have a positive form of brainwashing. You know, you can have positive music. You know, you can brainwash people in great music. You can brainwash people, you know, in great understanding, great lesson, great teaching. You know, just in the same way that you can brainwash somebody in a negative aspect, you can brainwash somebody in the most positive, enlightening, beautiful aspect. You know, just like propaganda. You know, propaganda is usually something that we associate with bad shit. You know, with creating a fucked up image. You know, but propaganda can, you know, you can also have positive propaganda. You know, you can also have good propaganda, positive propaganda. You know what I'm saying? So understanding propaganda and brainwashing, and that we all have underwent, you know, this degree, this vast degree of brainwashing. You know, we've underwent this vast degree of brainwashing. I think that is another great point for us to understand.